this brief message is for those who are considering the possibility of registering for this course ME 601 Language and Style of Scholarly Communication. Many of you have the question that what this course involves, and for them there is a small page where this details has been given. Perhaps it is not possible, it is not visible to you from this screen what is the website, what is the path. So, I am noting it for you. The address of the page is this. So, as you reach this page, you will find that there is a syllabus given and a course plan given. So, in the course plan, the entire plan has been mentioned, how this course is going to be executed. The same thing which I am going to be briefing you in this small video. And in the syllabus, you will find the detailed syllabus of the course as it has gone formally through SPGC, and this is the syllabus of the course contents, and in detail you will find that the syllabus has been given in 7 modules like this. Okay. So, here modules 1, 2 and 3 is the basic proficiency in English, and then here modules 5, 6 and 7 are particularly concerned with the style and norm and strategy of writing good scholarly communications. And this module 4 is actually the buffer in between the two. So, as you think over it, you will find that there are 2 distinct parts in it. One is the part on English proficiency and the other is norm and style of scholarly communication. Now, many students are a little concerned and a little confused regarding whether they are eligible for it, and for that, in principle, any IIT student is eligible for this course, and almost all students need this. Now, some people need this part more strongly and some people need this part more strongly. Now, depending upon the background of different students, our strategy will be to give more or less focus on this part or that part. Okay. So, in the beginning of the semester on 7th January, we will conduct the standard diagnostic test, which we call TOEFL, Test of English as Functional Language. And while the test is open to all, for those who are registrants of ME 601, this test is mandatory. And through this test, on first Saturday of the semester, we will try to find out who requires a strong dose of English proficiency and who already has it. Now, those who need a strong dose of English proficiency, for them this part of the course, which is otherwise actually half of the course, will become 3/4 and this part will shrink to 1/4. On the other hand, those whose English is found to be adequate, about whose English we do not have any concern, for them this part will shrink to 1/4 and this part will become 3/4. And how we will do this switching is basically through the practice sessions that we have in hand. If you visit OIRS, you will notice that there are 3 slots for this course. One is Monday 12 to 13, another is Tuesday 9 to 10. These two are supposed to be lecture slots, and there is a practice session on Thursday which is 2 hours, 10 to 12. So, our intention is to have the common general theme on Monday and Tuesday, and during the practice session the different segments of the class will get different practice. That means those who need a solid brush up on English proficiency, they will be given practice on English language in these 2 hours primarily. On the other hand, those whose English is fine, to them in these 2 hours we will give some preliminary background, so that we can prepare them on the delivery and leading part of the scholarly communication component of the course. And others who in the initial part of the course will go through more regular practice sessions in English, they will join the scholarly communication part at a later stage of the course, and through this segment they will be taken into the scholarly communication part along with the other students who are doing it from the very beginning. This is how we intend to cover this part with 3/4 emphasis for one segment of the class, and this part with 3/4 emphasis for the other part of the class. Okay. Now, in modules 1, 2, 3, 4, we will have different parts of English vocabulary, grammar and composition exercises, and there will be assignments. Those assignments will be common for students of all sections, students of all segments. But what we understand is that while one part of the class may need more practice in these sectors, the others will not need so much practice. So, they will have more time to devote early on the later modules which appear here. And in modules 1, 2 and 3, there will be 3 module tests. So, these assignments and test assignments will be over all the 4 modules, and on these 3 modules there will be tests. And finally, after covering module 4 also on this side, and by the time other things also get covered from the later modules, we will have 2 final tests at the end of the semester, towards the end of the semester, towards end of March, early April. And that will mean that this part, through the tests and assignments that come and whatever is done in class and other parts that are contributed from this side, all together will play a role in the final grade selection. Now, if you have any questions, you can ask. Any questions? Pardon? If you register for the course, then you will attend the initial test. And if just in case people start with the idea of taking the replacement rather than the actual test, so beforehand I clarify that the replacement of the initial test is actually going to be more time consuming. So, that should be known. Okay. So, do not consider the replacement as an attractive thing. If somebody has an emergency, then he will be given the replacement, but to the extent possible, try to take the test on 7th itself. Now, that replacement we can consider for the initial test, but for the test towards the end of the semester, that kind of a situation is not possible. I mean, that is actually equivalent to mid-sem, end-sem kind of exam. So, towards the end of the semester, the test that we conduct, for that we may not be in a position to give a replacement. Anything else? Yes. One more point should be made clear, that in this course we will not have any formal end-sem exam. All the evaluation related matter will be covered during the semester itself, before the end semester exam time comes. Even mid-sem exam is perhaps going to be replaced by tests within the class timings, because the different tests will appear at different points of time during the semester, and therefore, it may not be a very good idea to conduct one big test in the middle of the semester. So, just after we complete module 1, we will conduct the test for it. Similarly, just after we complete module 2 or module 3, we will appropriately take the tests. And make note that the bold letter sentence that you bold letter topic that you find here, complete tense structure of the English language, up to this is our understanding of the bare minimum of practical English, and this in addition makes it a little richer, and the lower part, modules 5, 6 and 7 are essentially drafting of technical paper, thesis and other things, and aids of technology in modern professional communication. And this is actually general elements of style and diction, which makes your written and oral communication more effective, more convincing. What earlier used to be covered under the subject called rhetoric. Okay. So, that is supposed to be here. So, this we will cover towards the end of the course. I think that mostly summarizes, and some of these notes are also mentioned here. There was a course, there is a course notes here. Yes. So, this page which I, this address which I gave you, that is also mentioned in here in the course notes. Okay. Okay. So, thank you, and decide whether to register for this course. But if you are in the doubtful stage, then it is very important to attend the first lecture, first class, which is on 5th January, and most probably going to be in L19. Yeah.
Are students allowed to audit this course?
No, we do not allow auditing. However, there is something else which is allowed. Those PhD scholars who have a registration or roll number of Y12, Y13 or Y14, only PhD students of Y12, 13, 14 batch will be allowed to register with S/X option. There is an S/X option, pass fail option. Our experience is that through auditing, students typically do not learn the subject. Okay. So, that is why we do not want to give the auditing option. Even in the pass fail option, we have some doubts whether the students will really learn or not, but PhD students who have completed their coursework and comprehensive, it may be additional headache for them to again go through a course in the later grade option. Otherwise, we believe that in the later grade option, people really learn a subject better, and for that matter, an A grade or even a B grade in a course like language and style of scholarly communication actually looks good in the transcript of a student, rather than having just passed a course, which quite often does not mean anything. Any other question? Okay. Thank you.